Here is what Dark Viper uploaded. This is what he stole from them. This, I would argue, is reaction content. The man who is so against reaction content that he would write 14 pages did reaction content without asking permission first, and thought it would be okay if he credited them in the comments, which I would argue is fine. Reaction content is fine. I would argue that what we're about to watch, that Dark Viper did, this is fair use. I would say this is a good reaction clip.
GTA 5 speedrunners will do anything to complete the game faster, but for one strategy there is no runner brave enough to do it, and that is bike gliding across the Alamo Sea on the mission the Polito score set up. This would save a significant amount of time, but this would need to be done 3 hours into a run, and if you hit anything going down or don't get enough distance, you are screwed.
So you saw what he did there. He sped up the stuff to make it short enough to fit into a short. He added his commentary over top of it. Alright, so if you guys aren't familiar with DarkViperAU, he is, we're not going to go, I'm just going to give you a brief history on him because we're not going through all of this right now, but we will watch the meme. His claim to fame is being a GTA 5 speedrunner. It's a couple million sub YouTuber. It's a pretty big creator, but a couple years ago, he got into it with Willie Mac Show, Moist Critical, and the commentary community as a whole, in his crusade against reaction content. Asmongold, Moist Critical, like he hates him. And he famously wrote a 14-page document explaining why reaction content is theft. All reaction content. That there's no such thing as fair use. If you show someone else's clips, you're stealing their content, regardless of context. He akined it to rape. That it was like raping a creator because they didn't consent to you using their content. So anything short of getting their consent is rape. But anyway, he had this little rant. That we're gonna watch. Oh, God, I hate. Oh, I just had it up here. All right, Dark Viper AU. 14 pages, ranting about his 14 pages. Alright, so here we go.
I don't know what he's responding to here.
Jesus. Alright. So here we go. Dark Viper AU's 14 pages. This is the rant that made him famous. But there's been an update. You guys are going to love this. I've been waiting for him to make this mistake.
I don't know what he's responding to here, but I did write a 14-page script explaining it's a 14-page document. You against a 14-page meticulously written page. It's 14-page meticulous page. It's 14 pages. On page 14, Dark Viper, fuck the Loch Ness Monster, is 14 pages long. That's a 14-page fuck. Which is what I spent 14 pages establishing. We were in the 14 pages of writing. In all 14 pages that I wrote, I fucked the Loch Ness Monster. As I again established so heavily in that 14-page document.
14 pages! Yeah! He wrote 14 meticulous pages.
So that's where the soundbite for H3 comes from. But yeah, so he wrote a 14-page document that doesn't include the graphs that he wrote and everything about how Dark Viper, about how reaction content is theft, and Dark Viper AU hates it. And he'd go after every one of these channels legally if he could. But he doesn't have that kind of money, I guess. Well, apparently he's hurting for money. Because, let's see, get this pulled up here. All right, let's get X pulled up. All right, so there's my X feed. We've got a bit of an update on Dark Viper AU's getting called out. This is from someone named Dark Stunter, who apparently I looked into him earlier, and he just does like GTA stunts. So he does like crazy comical videos. He's not really known for speedrunning, but apparently he got into speedrunning after seeing Dark Viper AU. So this guy is a Dark Viper AU fan who got into speedrunning after watching him, and he's known for doing these crazy stunts and finding glitches, and I was like, hey, maybe I could apply these into a speedrun and see if I can come up with a speedrun strat. So he started doing the speedrun strat. So we'll start with his speedrun strat here, and then we'll go back up. So back in 2019, my friend Massa Boy and I got interested in speedrunning and started to look for strategies. I realized that during the mission, Paleto score setup, you could glide across the Alamo Sea using a motorcycle, saving about 10 minutes off your run, or 10 seconds off of your run. I spent a while perfecting this strategy. So he's got a video of his strategy here. So this is his video and his strategy. So we'll watch this first. So apparently there's a glitch where if you get up enough speed on a motorcycle, and he shows his controller in the corner, and you wiggle the stick in a circle, you can make the motorcycle glide without losing its altitude. So he's doing it.
One mission.
All right, he's got enough speed here, and then he's going to launch himself across the river, across the ocean here to save himself the fucking lake or whatever it is, to save himself some time with having to drive all the way around.
And you have to go on the water tower. And there's...
You see that? You see that? Check that.
There.
Yeah, I'm checking.
And now, mission complete. There you go. That's his speedrun strat. So this guy found this. All right. After days of testing and perfecting this strat, he got the perfect clip together, and we decided that this would be the clip that we would share this new risky strategy with. We showed it to speedrunners and Friendly Baron, asked for a permission to use it with this video, and we gave him that. Here's a link to the original clip, and here's Friendly Baron's video where the clip was featured with permission and credit. So one guy asked to use this clip. So he showed that
here.
clip. Hold on.
This mission.
All right. I guess we'll just watch it in this window. In fact, no, I'll pop it out so you guys can see it at its full size. Okay. So this is the guy that used it, and here's what he used.
Is the reason I had to make a second part to this series. If you missed the first video, there's a link to it in the description,
So
and
he's
do consider
explaining
subbing to my
why
channel for
it's
similar
so- why
stuff
it's
if
such
you
a big
liked
deal.
both videos. Normally after casing the bank in this mission, the speedrun takes Trevor on the motorcycle back to the office via the rails, balancing on them to keep the speed up instead of being in the dirt. After my last risky strat video, some dudes named Dark and Massa Boy, who
That's our
often make
boys here.
stunted videos like this,
Yeah,
were
they
made
make
aware of the
stunt
speedrun,
videos.
and as you've heard in a few recent videos, they've had a good number of ideas already. A common trick in GTA 5 stunting is the fly with motorcycles. Basically, you can slowly rotate the stick on the controller to keep the bike's rear tire aimed where you want to go and glide around. This requires you to get going very fast
And
at
there's
first,
his video.
and riding down Chiliad is just enough speed to get it started, and then fly over the entire lake back to Trevor's office. This is pretty radical to consider doing. It ends up saving about 12 seconds over a good run, which is pretty significant.
Now, this isn't even
but the
the same
success
clip.
rate is like 25%, pretty low,
See, he
with
didn't
easily
land on the
60
building.
seconds or more time loss if you die.
All right, so that's not even the same one. That's not even the same video. He was actually able to do it faster, and you saw where he landed on the building instead of landing behind it. This is a video where he landed behind it.
Or fail the full jump and fall into the water. But that 25%, that's for Dark, who found the strat, and Massa Boy, who gave me some extra videos of the
Yep,
gliding
he
being
named-
executed
he
quite
names
well.
them, gives them credit.
They've been doing this flying strat for years.
Even
the top runners of
tells you
GTA
where it came
5,
from.
myself included, have
Tells you
no
their channel
experience
name.
with this technique. I have, well, quite a fair bit amount of time spent in this game, but the gliding strat is something
Okay, so anyway, you get the idea. So you get the idea there. All right, so he made that clip, and then he posted the different clip, the first one we saw, where he was able to perfect it and go a little bit further. Actually landing on top of the building, busting the back of his head on the building, saving even more time. Now, a couple years later, DarkViperAU got a hold of that video and used that same clip without our permission. He made a YouTube short with our gameplay, added his commentary, and uploaded it without asking us. He originally added a credit in the comments, but later he replaced that with this. So he had them credited and then replaced the credit with his merch store advertisement. I wasn't happy that the credit was removed, so after collecting enough courage, I messaged him about it. I hoped it was just a simple mistake when he/his team edited the comment. I would have been happy with a sorry, I'll add the credit back. But instead, I got this answer. I'm going to warn you, we are going to read this, but keep in mind that this is DarkViperAU we're talking about. All right, this is an autistic guy who writes novels as comments. All right, he wrote 14 pages, guys. So I have not even read this part myself yet. I just know it's pretty big. Actually, before I read this, here is what Dark Viper uploaded. This is what he stole from them. This, I would argue, is reaction content. The man who is so against reaction content that he would write 14 pages did reaction content without asking permission first, and thought it would be okay if he credited them in the comments, which I would argue is fine. Reaction content is fine. I would argue that what we're about to watch, that Dark Viper did, this is fair use. I would say this is a good reaction clip, and that there's nothing wrong with it. And crediting them in the comments is the right move. I would say he did everything right here. But we're not judging him based on what is fair. We're judging him based on his own standards, because he set standards for what he thinks is okay. And that's why this is important, that he's breaking his own standards. So he has no principles and won't stand on business, because this is what he made with that man's content.
GTA 5 speedrunners will do anything to complete the game faster, but for one strategy there is no runner brave enough to do it, and that is bike gliding across the Alamo Sea on the mission the Polito Score set up. This would save a significant amount of time, but this would need to be done 3 hours into a run, and if you hit anything going down or don't get enough distance, you are screwed. GTA 5.
So you saw what he did there. He sped up the stuff to make it short enough to fit into a short. He added his commentary over top of it. And if you listen closely, we'll watch it one more time. If you listen closely, he adds the NES Punch-Out music as background music. Something else he also didn't make.
Speedrunners will do anything to complete the game
Listen
faster,
closely.
but for one strategy there is no runner brave enough
You
to
can hear it
do
when
it,
he's going
and
across
that
the
is
water.
bike gliding
Real
across
good.
the Alamo Sea
There it is.
on the
It
mission
kicks
the
in here.
Polito Score set up. This would save a significant amount of time, but this would need to be done 3 hours into a run, and if you hit anything going down or don't get enough distance, you are screwed.
Not bad music, but also not his. So he's broken 3 of his own rules for reaction content in his reaction content clip here, which I find hilarious, and he needs to be called on it. So we're going to react to it and make it into a segment on the stream, so hopefully as many people as possible will see it. I know I don't have a big audience, but hey, every little bit helps. I'm doing my part. His creative editing was speeding up the clip and slapping his own commentary over it. I would argue also adding the background music, which also wasn't made by him, but that guy didn't catch this. Funny enough, he's been very vocal for years about being against reaction content, yet this is literally a reaction. The clip was also shared privately, so I have no idea how he got it. If you gave that other guy permission first to use the clip, like, I can answer where he got it from. You gave that other guy permission to use it in this YouTube video. And if this video came out before Dark Viper Short, then that's where he got it. He ripped he ripped your video from another YouTuber's video. So we're 2 layers deep now in him ripping this content. He ripped it from another YouTuber who had permission to post it. So he ripped your video from somebody else, took their commentary out, and just used the footage and put his commentary over top of it. That is how I think he got it. But anyway, he reaches out to him to tell him, look, can you give me my credit back in it? And Dark Viper responds with, oh no, this is his message to Dark Viper. Look, remember the guy who made the video, there's Dark Viper and this guy's Dark J. All right, so Dark J, whose name is Dark Stunter, because he makes stunt videos like the one we saw, which was pretty dope. But I mean, his stunt videos looked pretty cool. They're probably worth a laugh. I'll check out his content after this. But he is a Dark Viper fan, which means he's going to type and talk like Dark Viper, which is unnecessarily long and descriptive. But we'll read it and see what we got here. Hey, Matt. It's Dark Viper's real name. Hey, Matt. You know, I've been watching you for a long time. I'm not the most active, and I don't really show it that often, but I really like you and your content. That said, there's one thing that's left a sour taste in my mouth. I've been meaning to bring this up for a while, and after seeing your recent yap where you talked about shorts, profits, and related stuff, I felt it was the right time. He links to the video in question. It's this particular short I want to talk about. I know you originally added a credit in the comments, but that credit is now gone because the comment was edited into a different announcement. Him, linking to his merch store. Basically, you were cut out for his own profits. The issue I have is that you used gameplay footage without a permission. You just took it and ended up making a good amount of money from it. I want to make it clear that I'm not asking for any money. I am just genuinely curious why you would do this, especially since both you and I know what it feels like when someone else isn't being friendly and doesn't credit you properly for your work. Another thing that bothers me is that I actually reached out to you 2 years ago before you posted it, offering to provide footage for gliding. So he offered to provide him with footage he could use and got ignored, I'm guessing. If you ever wanted to go over it on your clip channel, you responded to me with, here was his response to when he offered to give him footage. I can't do it, so never. Could have done it years ago if I wanted to. If I can't show it myself, I'm not keen. Thanks, though. So basically, that's Dark Viper saying that if he can't do it himself in the game, if he can't do the strategy himself, if he can't learn how to do it himself and it's not his footage, he won't use it. That is what he told him when he offered to share this footage with him. I was genuinely interested in helping you if it was ever something you needed or wanted, but you clearly declined. So I respected that and left it at that. So finding out a couple of years later that you did a complete 180 and uploaded the clip without permission was disappointing. The exact clip he offered to give him. Again, I'm not trying to start any drama. Dark Viper started it. He started it. You're right to call him on this. Grow a spine, dude. This was just something I really wanted to get off my chest. I do feel bad about this stunt you pulled. Keep up the good content. So that is the friendliest of callouts. He is way nicer than I would have been, especially giving Dark Viper's attitude towards reaction content and the blatant hypocrisy here. All right, so this is what he sent him on Discord. It's another picture here. This is Dark Viper's response. I gotta say, this is a strange message. It was 2 years later, man. I answer quite literally hundreds of DMs a week. And then it cuts off that one. I don't know why he didn't just pull it up in Discord so we could see it. Maybe he didn't want to show us his full conversation with him for some reason. He could have just clipped it, but he's showing us the notification from his phone, so this is what we got to work with. So to summarize, you put unlisted footage that you never intended to use for any purpose in a Discord somewhere to show a strat. It wasn't public. You were making no money off of it. Hell, you were never going to make money from it. I creatively edited it afterwards at great expense of time and presenting it in a way to cause it to succeed. Basically, he's saying your clip sucked until I got my hands on it. I made it good. Taking a 9-minute screen recording and making it into a 20-second clip. This you were obviously never going to do. And hell, no one was ever going to. Shame. It was a good edit and hook. I guess I will find that clip of Trevor diving out a boat into a whale that the other dude made. Fuck it. Fuck if I ever want another DM like this. I originally wrote you a very long message. I have removed it and privated the clip. Never contact me again for any reason. Please stop watching my content. So complete fucking crash out over what seemed to be reasonable. What is this one? Oh, that was something else. Okay, so we clicked over to something else. Okay, so those are the two pictures there. Yeah, so he just completely crashed out on this dude for no reason. It was a reasonable request, and honestly, reasonable thing to ask considering your behavior and what you've done, and just the ego on this guy. I made your clip good. It only succeeded because of me, and now I'm going to remove it so that you don't bitch about it. You've ruined my content. Never talk to me again. After his tantrum, he must have realized how bad his message would make him look, so he deleted and edited it to this. Then he blocked me and banned me from his Discord, so I would have no way of contacting him. I still tried to email him and wish we could move past this. So then he posts this. I have privated the short. I am removing the monthly yap and canceling the series. Never contact me again for any reason. So that's an edit of the one that he sent. That's why he showed the notification from the phone, because when he checked his Discord it had been edited, but the notification showed the original. That's what happened there. Okay. Unable to accept invite. You have been blocked by Dark Viper. Was there another picture here? Or is this leading over to something else? Okay, yeah, this is another picture. Okay, yeah, that's the last one. Okay. So, whoa, no, go back. I want to see the last one. I hate Twitter setup. Okay, here we go. Hey, Matt. All right, so this is the email he sent. Hey, Matt, I'm really sorry. This message wasn't meant to be an attack or come across as aggressive. I wanted to approach you privately and respectfully because I felt it was something worth expressing, and I was hoping for a mutual understanding. I get that it was years later. So remember, his justification is, hey, the content was old. You weren't making money off of it. And you were never going to make money off of it. So therefore, it should be up for grabs. I should be able to steal it. Because remember, according to Dark Viper, reaction content is theft. So by his logic now, if we go by Dark Viper's logic on when reaction content is okay now reaction content is okay if the clip is old or if the person's making no money off of it. So if they're a smaller or unmonetized YouTube channel, you can that's a buffet, man. Just have your pick of the litter. Do what you want with it. Just take the content. Turn it into a short. Turn it into a video. Comment over top of it. Have at it. Make all the money you want. Because they're never going to make any money. And do you owe them any money? Do you need to give them a cut? No. As long as they weren't monetized anyway, you didn't take any money from them, they were never going to make any. That's his logic now. So before it was theft, now it's, well, if they're not making money off of it, it must be public domain, right? Jesus Christ. This dude's a piece of shit. I get that it was years later and that you deal with a lot of messages. I completely understand that you can't remember every single one. But from my perspective, it was disappointing to see the footage used like that, as I remembered our conversation clearly. Sorry about that. I also want to address the assumption that I had no plans to monetize the clip or that I don't monetize my work. In fact, I've managed to turn stunting into a job. So this guy was monetized. He has an entire channel around doing stunts in GTA 5 and he makes a living off of it. It's his job now. And have monetized hundreds of my clips. Even if that hadn't been the case, I don't understand how that would justify someone else using the footage without any permission whatsoever and profiting from it. And just to clarify, the original clip was only around 2 minutes long, not 9 minutes. So he even corrected him on that. You sped up the footage and added your reaction/commentary over it. And I couldn't help but notice that this is the kind of content you've been vocally critical about for years. So seeing you apply the same approach to the glide strat clip feels hypocritical. It is. You were right to call him that. You're still being way nicer than I would be. That's just how it looks from my point of view. No, that's how it is in reality. That is exactly what happened. You have read it properly. I really hope we can come to a mutual understanding and get past this. Sorry again for bringing this up. And he's still apologizing to Dark Viper as if he did something wrong. It's the wrong approach. But remember, he's a fan of Dark Viper's here. I would really appreciate if you can unblock me on Discord so we can resolve this easier. Regardless of what happens next, I truly wish you the best with your content and everything you're working on. No hard feelings on my end. I just wanted to speak honestly and hopefully clear the air. So, guy's a fan, still wants to be a fan. He's being as respectful as possible. He's even taking the high road. And how does Dark Viper respond to this? He removed the short from YouTube, but left it up on TikTok. Still uncredited. So here's the TikTok version. Video currently unavailable. Oh, he did take it down from TikTok. So it's been removed from TikTok now. So he has taken it down from TikTok. Okay. After removing the stolen short, he re-uploaded a new version using footage from one of his viewers. Even though this version uses someone else's gameplay, it's still the exact strat that I created. So here's where I'm going to disagree with you, Dark Stunter. If it's not your footage, just like I don't think Nintendo should be able to patent throwing a ball and catching a monster, I don't think you should be able to claim ownership of a strategy in a video game. Even if you were the first one to think of it, other people doing it themselves, that like, yeah, it's your strategy, but other people are allowed to do it. So as long as they're not using your footage, then it's not a reaction content, it's not theft, it's whatever. You know, and the whole reason you were sharing the strategy was to teach other people how to do it. So, of course, other people are going to do it. That's the purpose of these videos. So, if someone else started doing your strategy and figured out a way to do it better than you or as good, then you can't really be mad about that. Like, that's nothing. So, I don't agree with you getting mad at that one, but I see why you'd want to point that out. You do want credit for your work, I guess. Without my work, this video wouldn't exist. That part's arguable. Somebody else may have figured out the strategy of gliding across the water. You were just the guy who thought of it first. Doesn't mean nobody ever would have ever other than you. He made around $264 from the new version. All right, so here's the new version.
GTA 5
Okay, well, this one's a short, so we can watch it. All right, so here's the new version.
speedrunners will do anything to complete the game faster, but for one strategy there is no runner brave enough to do it, and that is bike gliding across the Alamo Sea on the mission the Polito score set up. This would save a significant amount of time, but this would need to be done 3 hours into a run, and if you hit anything going down or don't get enough distance, you are screwed.
Right, but it is different. But it's literally the same audio as the last one. He ripped the audio from that first short and just put it over top of new footage. He didn't even re-record the dialogue or anything. So that's it. I want to make it clear this isn't about the money. It's about what's right and wrong. I spent time creating something original. A YouTuber took it, profited from it, dismissed me, and hoped no one would notice. I stayed respectful, and he didn't. I'm done letting him get away with this. I'm not going to play that clip because copyright. There's still probably a lot I forgot and missed, so I'm happy to answer the provided proofs to whatever questions you may have. It's really hard to fit everything in 280 characters per tweet. Yeah, that's why I was getting tired of arguing with the Nintendo simps. He just nailed it on the head, and why I said, look, if you guys want to talk, I'm going live, come into my live stream. And of course, none of them showed up. So, which I got a bunch of notifications over here I'm going to check in a second that may be related to that. In fact, I'll check them real quick. I don't trust Twitter before I check them. No, it's just a bunch of people liking my stuff. Okay, I'll go back to that now. Okay. I have in the past helped him with other stuff, so he knows about me and my existence. So he isn't just some random fan. He's actually helped him make stuff in the past, too. Here is also the guy who helped him make the video comparing the speed to the old version of this mission. He never asked for permission to feature this clip on his channel. Oh, so this is him seeing the clip and actually commenting on it before he steals it. Look at this. This is the coolest thing. This is the coolest strat I've ever seen. I don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. Thanks for sharing. Haha, thanks. Thank you. So he took it from his friend. He knew it. He saw it. He commented on it. He saw that YouTube video when they posted it and then took it. Looks like he's aware of my tweet and has gone and limited what I can do, but not full on block. Okay, so he's showing where he's limited his interactions. So he hasn't blocked you, he's muted you. You're not allowed to interact with him, but you can still see his tweets. I'm actually a little slow. This is a block. Oh, never mind, it is a block. I thought I wouldn't be able to see the profile with the block. No, you can still see people's profiles. Yeah, so he did block you. You can still see their profiles, you just can't interact with them. It's just to stop you from interacting with them. And some people asking him, why haven't you done a copyright strike? Who says I haven't? The video's already down. I mean, I don't know if you could copyright strike for that, to be honest with you. Like I said, the commentary and everything on it does make it fair use. It was a fair use of it, so I wouldn't agree with him copyright striking it. He did speed up the footage. It does provide a unique new experience to the content. It's not just a direct rip. He sped up the footage. He commented over it. He added music. He provided a different experience than watching your video. It's not a market replacement for your video. People would still need to watch your full video to see it done without, you know, being sped up, to see what it looks like done in real time. So there's still value to watching yours. His is not a market replacement. So I wouldn't say it's in violation there. I don't think you should be striking him. But these people all think reaction content in its entirety is bad. And then these are just other people's comments. Okay. At one point he did, I don't know how I missed that. At one point he did do the math to see how much money Dark Viper actually made off of it. Oh, there it is. It's about the top. A YouTuber with 2 million subs stole our work, uploaded it, and made over $1,500 from it. So that's the amount of money he made from that one short 20-second video. He made $1,500. When I politely confronted him, he threw a tantrum, blocked me, banned me from his Discord, and edited his angry response, hoping I wouldn't see it. Here's what happened. And then that's when he breaks everything down. What's this one? Why is GTA 6 only 328 megabytes on Xbox? Because it's not out yet. It's just a placeholder. You made an 11-minute video out of that? Jesus. All right, and that's the screenshot from his phone. So he's showing that, yes, I could still see your message even after you edited it. Which is oftentimes why I'll leave YouTube videos in my notification feed on my phone. Philip DeFranco has a bad habit of doing this. And I don't really see the reason why, but like I'll pull it down, look at my notifications, and I'll see that a YouTuber I've got notifications on has posted a new video. Philip DeFranco is one of those ones I get notified when his new videos are posted. Which, by the way, sub to this channel and turn on notifications. I post one video a day, so you're not going to get spammed. And it'll let you know when I go live. But anyway, Philip DeFranco posts videos. And it'll show up in my bar. And I don't even think about it. I don't watch them at the time I'm at work or something. And then I'll go to watch it later at home. And I'll look on my PC. And it'll have a different thumbnail than what's in my notification bar. So I can compare the thumbnails when he posted it to the thumbnail he ended up going with. And he tends to change his thumbnails after posting videos quite frequently. And I can't figure out why. Because I don't usually see anything wrong with the original thumbnail. But the original thumbnail is usually more clickbaity. Like it'll put a famous YouTuber's name or somebody big in it. And it'll have some clickbait text or stuff on it. And it'll be really over the top. And then like after a couple hours, he'll change it to something more in line with the rest of his content, where he's front and center on the thumbnail, and it's got just the news headline down there instead of the clickbaity title. So he clickbaits to get those early views, to get it into the algorithm, and then he changes the thumbnail and changes the video title. So for that first couple hours, I didn't notice it until I noticed that, oh, cool, so that's what happens. So I wanted to bring attention to Dark Viper because he's a fucking clown. He's a hypocrite. He's a piece of shit. And he did need to be called out by this. And I really wish that this guy wasn't such a Dark Viper dick rider, and he's just more heartbroken. Sounds like he's just more heartbroken than anything. I wish he would have been more pissed off, because Dark Viper deserves to get raked over the fucking coals for this, because he took away the one little shout out he gave you to replace it with an ad for his fucking merch store, so he can make more money off of your content. Because you know how much money he made off the views, but you don't know how much money he made from extra traffic going to his merch store, because this is the comment he penned and edited. He gave you credit at first, and then he took that credit away to draw more attention to his merch store from the video he made from your content. Now again, I wouldn't even be holding him to the coal, like raking him to the coals and holding him to the fire over this, if it was just a regular YouTuber making a reaction clip. I think his reaction clip is fine. I think he has transformed it enough that there's no problem with it, even if he didn't ask for permission. I think what he's done is fine. But by his own standards, it's theft. So I'm not holding him to the standards the rest of us know as fair use, to what fair use actually is. I'm holding him to the standard that he set for himself, which would make this theft and would make him a hypocrite. And that's why he deserves to be called out and have his entire fucking name and 14-page legacy raked over the fucking coals. Because fuck this guy. And someone needs to tell, and I may leave that as a comment on his Twitter here in a second, someone needs to tell Dark Stunter that he needs to one-up him. Fuck 14 pages. You need to write 15 pages on why Dark Viper is a thief. It's 15 pages. Yeah, go one higher. Anyway, that's that. It's our check-in with Dark Viper. 'Cause fuck that guy.